Forest, the primary carrier battle group patrolling the South China Sea and the Taiwan Straits is now going through the Straits of Malacca through the Indian Ocean to the North Arabian Sea to be the third carrier positioned off Persia, sometime tomorrow, I think, or the next day, to be there for potential action. How is the CCP working with the Persians? Are they trying to draw the Americans into the situation to take our eye off the ball for Taiwan, and particularly the invasion here in the United States? Is just as happenstance, or is this work towards the Chinese Communist Party's plan, which is to destroy America? Sir.
Okay, absolutely. That's their plan, is to destroy the American. Whether they are trying to distract American to relocate their military asset to Middle East, I think we have to rely on the intelligence to tell us that. But absolutely, their goal is to destroy American. That's for sure. We see that already. This situation in Taiwan definitely will create a power vacuum and also expose Taiwan more. But my question to everybody is, even if we have our military there, will the CCP still attack? I think the answer is yes, because we are already in the war with Chinese Communist Party, which is the unrestricted warfare. Right now, what we are seeing today is more than just a crisis. I think it's an opportunity for Iranian people and Chinese people to really regain their freedom and democracy. Because right now, everybody can see the dictatorship is really just a paper tiger. They cannot survive with the real fight. That's why what we see there in what happens in Israel and Iran. And the Iran people, as soon as they realize they are repressed by this regime for 50, 70 years, they will start to fight back and overthrow this dictatorship. They will regain their power. And this situation happening in Iran actually is a nightmare for CCP, because the leader in Iran portrayed themselves as a god. Xi Jinping does the same thing. He portrayed himself as a god to rule the 1.4 billion Chinese people. So what they are doing right now in China, they tightly control the media and using their propaganda power won't let people know what is really happening in Iran. They are still propaganda. On the media tell the Chinese people that Iran is invincible and the American is losing, because they are afraid that the Chinese people know the real truth. That is, the regime, the totalitarian regime, can be overthrown by the people. Look at Israel.
Wow.
If the Israel in this fight, 96% of their people standing with their government. But the Iran people, only less than 10% of their people support this war. That's the dictatorship. They rule their people by fear and by the cruelty. So that's why I think right now we are witnessing the opportunity presented for the Chinese people and Iran people to overthrow those dictatorships.
I want to get to. I want to ask Roy a question about the Russian and the Chinese alliance, but I got to ask you, because Persia and the Chinese Communist Party the mullahs have a pretty tight relationship. They're shipping, I don't know, somewhere north of 2 million barrels a day. There's talks now of airstrikes down in those oil fields. There was a ship today in the Straits of Hormuz that was blocking things for a while. How important is it to the regime in Beijing to get that 2 million barrels a day from the regime in Tehran, sir?
Absolutely. That's very critical for the Chinese Communist Party. First of all, that almost accounts for 15 to 20% of their oil imports from foreign overseas. And also they got that oil very cheap compared to the other source. They got that cheap from Iran. So that's very important. So without that energy supply, it definitely will create a lot of pressure within the government. And also the important thing is, this is what they built, one belt, one road. they create the BRIC with all the Russian and other BRIC countries, try to use the currency exchange to relieve the sanction U.S. and Western country put on Iran, and also to benefit the CCP themselves. So this border effect for the One Belt, One Road, and also all their economic currency strategy, actually this situation is a big hit for them. So I think this is critical for the Chinese Communist Party. What's happening in Iran, and they lose this energy supply, and most importantly, they lose the strategically their plan and their strategy, which is very heavy hit for them.
This is also central to this whole BRIC situation, is the situation between Persia and the Chinese Communist Party, because they're taking payments not in petrodollars but in or U.S. currency. They're taking it in yuan with a hedge around it. Breaking news: President Trump. They put a lid on things. President Trump is not expected to speak